Here is day 3 of my 75K evaluation challenge, where I'm only trading during the silver bullet hours. This is for Friday, the 19th of May, 2023, and this is the AM session. Previously, before this hour began, price purged itself into a 15-minute fair value gap, sweeping liquidity along the way. We get a small retracement, then we're sweeping internal liquidity here as the hour begins, and now we have a little bit of displacement up, leaving behind a fair value gap that I have loosely marked in green. This is the first bit of clean price action I've seen after that initial drop, so I'm taking this trade off that fair value gap, and I'm going to see if I can get my 5 handles. We get a fairly good reaction right off the rip here. That makes me feel pretty good that I'm on side. The problem with today's price action, though, is it's real wicky. It's up, it's down, and it's not really ripping in the direction consistently that I obviously want it to go in. On the red folder news docket, we have Powell speaking at 11 as opposed to 10. With him speaking at 11, I was kind of hoping that this price action would be clean enough for me to get my 5 handles out of it. But so far it's proving to be a little bit more chaotic. You can see the barcode printing before my entry, and now we're getting more of it after my entry. So my psychology here is just, I'm kind of paying attention to it. I don't remember how many times I tinker with my stop loss here. I tend to get a little nitpicky with it. I try not to throw it too far down, but I also try to kind of keep it below logical stops, as in below the candle that created the fair value gap and those kind of things. I also don't like my TPs. I decide not to go for the full 5 handles here, and I just kind of want to aim for the low-hanging fruit, which is the next draw on liquidity levels here. We got a lot of equal highs coming up. I want to get out, basically. I want to kind of get some profit and be done with that. I've had greed be an issue for me recently in the past couple weeks, so that's kind of what my awareness has been focused on, is just how can I get a little bit, get out, and call it a day. So I'm very picky here about the price action, and I'm looking at it. I'm still not moving my stop loss to break even at this point. Though in hindsight, I might have had that volume imbalance not been there. Or maybe that's a gap. That might have been... I sometimes use those two terms interchangeably. Either way here, we do get a small sweep of some equal highs to the left there. Price jolts down. This is making me a little nervous. However, we immediately have a reaction off that, what I'm going to call a volume imbalance for now. And we're kind of still in this trade. I've also lowered my 5 handle runner now, also just to be out. We do have news coming up at 11 with Powell speaking. The market does seem to be very wicky right now, and I kind of want to be completely done with my low-hanging fruit as well. We have a second reaction off that volume imbalance, and again, more wicks. So I do get aggressive with my stop loss. I do move it up to this fair value gap, because at this point, either I want to be wicked out, or yeah, I want to be wicked out either for my stop loss or my TP. I no longer have interest in this trade. I think my entry was clean. That's some decent price action, but look at all that. It's kind of messy. I'm happy with the $131 that I got. Suffocated on purpose to kind of get out of it. And thank goodness I did. I do believe it would have hit my TP eventually, in fact soon after that, but then it craters. Here's the PM session. Now, one of my new rules that I'm trying out, that I kind of started to do a couple of videos ago, is I am scaling down. So I'm only going to use 5 micro contracts for the PM session, win or lose in the AM. This was a very patient trade for me. I'm actually pretty proud of it because I'd been following price this entire hour, and we're nearing later in the hour. And I've been very patient with it here. And as soon as price kind of purged down into this fair value gap, but failed to break the previous low, we still have a buy side bias here. A short-term low that I can see has not been broken. So we're still bullish bias, and this is a great continuation trade for me, I think. I put a order in for 5 micros at that, inside the fair value gap that also has a breaker in it. This is kind of what I want to write up here. I get tagged in, and I adjust my stop loss to go below this short-term low. I could go up one more, but I like this short-term low. It's a little bit more distinct on the 1 minute, and if this fails, I'm definitely out of the trade. And we get a good reaction off that breaker and that fair value gap, so I'm feeling pretty good about this trade as of now. And again, I'm actually lowering my TP to these low-hanging fruits. This is kind of a discretionary thing that I do. It's not as mechanical as other rules that I have. I'm always going to go for the low-hanging fruit, but I especially get a little bit more aggressive with my TPs when I'm already in profit. Because again, I'm trying to counterbalance that greed instinct that I have. And one of the things that I do here unintentionally, that I actually am going to try to focus on more, is I have 3 PD arrays between price and my stop loss, at least as of right now. I do believe I moved it down. Yeah. This was a comment that I got from on YouTube from Lane, who suggested that I do this. Now, when I traded this day, I had not read that comment yet. But now that he said that, I'm looking for it. And what he was reminding me of is that ICT talked about as soon as price breaks 3 PD arrays, either descale the position or collapse it all together. I'm going to count this short-term swing low as one of those confluences. Plus we have the fair value gap that it resides in. Plus we have this volume imbalance that price is currently lingering in. At this point, I'm ready to collapse this trade if price closes below that volume imbalance. It hasn't yet, so I'm still in it. I'm not moving my stop loss at this point because in my mind, this is already a loss. But I want to be stopped out here as opposed to collapsing it. I want to earn the loss in this case. So I kind of leave it alone. I guess you could also count that breaker as the third PD array if you don't want to count that short-term swing low where my entry is at. Either way, the 3 of those don't get violated. So if I were to follow that rule, I'd still be in this trade. And I kind of like that a lot. I know that Adora Trading also mentioned this, I believe, in his A+ setup video that I'll link in the description here. But I like it. Price is surging towards my low-hanging fruit TP. I do raise my stop loss up to guarantee me some green here. We're only at 5 micro contracts, but hey, that's enough to sweeten the pot. That's $243 in the day. Here are those trades. We have my initial 15 micros from the AM session, then we have my 5 from the PM session. And here's the account. Up above there, you'll see 75,853. We're definitely in the green here. And the trades, I guess I don't have to show the other trades, do I? Okay, there you are. Thank you very much.